Ladies, let's get real for a moment. We often assume men only notice the big things, the way we dress, how our hair falls, or the shade of lipstick we choose. But the truth? They're watching far more than we realize. See, men may not always articulate it, but they pick up on the tiniest details. The way you push your hair behind your ear when you're deep in thought. The way your eyes light up when you talk about something you love. Even the way you unconsciously tap your fingers when you're nervous. These little things, they stick with them. Ladies, you might think that men only pay attention to the big, obvious things, the dress you chose for the evening, the way you styled your hair, or the color of your lipstick. And while those things do get noticed, what's truly surprising is how much attention they pay to the little, almost invisible details you don't even realize you're revealing. Have you ever had a man recall something about you that even you forgot? Like how you scrunch your nose when you're deep in thought, or how your fingers absent-mindedly play with the edge of your sleeve when you're nervous. These tiny, seemingly insignificant things imprint themselves in their memory without them even realizing it. Men may not always put their observations into words, but trust me, they are noticing. The way you tuck your hair behind your ear, the way your eyes flicker when you're about to say something witty, or even the way your lips curl ever so slightly before you let out a laugh. These are the moments that capture their attention in ways you would never expect. It's not just about physical details either. They notice the shift in your tone when you're excited about something, the way you lean in when you're truly engaged in a conversation, or the soft sigh you let out when you're exhausted but don't want to say it out loud. They pick up on the scent of your perfume, not just how it smells, but how it becomes a part of you. They recognize the change in your expressions even before you do, sensing when something is off or when you're trying to hide your emotions behind a smile. And here's something even more interesting. Men remember the little details because those are the things that make you uniquely you. That tiny freckle just above your lip, he's noticed. That one dimple that only appears when you laugh a certain way, he's seen it. That one song you always hum when you're lost in thought, it's already on his mental playlist, reminding him of you every time he hears it. You don't have to be the loudest in the room, the one with the most extravagant style, or the one making grand gestures to be noticed. Sometimes it's the subtle moments, the ones you don't even think twice about, that leave the deepest impression. Because when a man truly sees you, he's not just looking at what's obvious. He's noticing everything you don't even realize you're showing. There's something undeniably powerful about a woman who walks into a room and owns it. Not with arrogance, not with words, but with presence. You see, confidence isn't about being the loudest person in the room or demanding attention. It's about an energy, a quiet assurance, a knowing that you are enough, exactly as you are. And trust me, men notice it. Have you ever seen someone who isn't conventionally the most stunning person in the room, but somehow everyone is drawn to her? That's confidence at work. It's in the way she carries herself, the way she speaks without hesitation, the way she makes eye contact without looking away. It's in her ability to be unapologetically herself, without needing validation from anyone else. Men are naturally drawn to women who exude this kind of self-assuredness. Why? Because confidence isn't just attractive, it's contagious. It makes the people around you feel at ease, inspired, and captivated. When a woman believes in herself, it sends a message that she doesn't need anyone's approval to feel whole. And that is intoxicating. Confidence isn't about perfection. It's about embracing your imperfections and still standing tall. It's about laughing at your own jokes even if no one else does. It's about wearing an outfit that makes you feel amazing, not because it's trendy, but because it feels like you. It's about speaking your mind with certainty, not to impress, but because you know your voice matters. And here's the secret. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you cultivate. It grows every time you challenge yourself, every time you embrace failure instead of fearing it, and every time you remind yourself that you are worthy no matter what. Men don't just notice confidence, they are mesmerized by it. A confident woman doesn't seek approval. She radiates a sense of self-worth that makes others take notice. She doesn't chase, she attracts. She doesn't conform, she stands out. And the best part, she doesn't do it for anyone else. She does it for herself. Because at the end of the day, the most beautiful thing a woman can wear isn't makeup or designer clothes. It's confidence. And that is truly magnetic. They say actions speak louder than words, but sometimes it's not even actions. It's the fleeting moments in between, the silent expressions, the little unspoken gestures that reveal the most about you. Women often believe that men only listen to what they say, but the truth is, men notice far more than words. They observe the way you react, the way your face changes ever so slightly, the way your body language shifts in response to something. These unspoken expressions, they speak volumes. Have you ever been deep in thought, staring off into the distance, only to have someone ask, "What's on your mind?" That's because your face, without saying a single word, was already telling a story. The way your eyes widen with excitement when you hear something you love, the subtle way you bite your lip when you're nervous, the tiny crease between your brows when something is bothering you, but you don't want to say it out loud. Men notice these things, even if they don't always mention it. A simple glance can convey more emotion than an entire conversation. The way you look at someone when you admire them, the way you glance away when you're shy, the way your eyes search a room when you're looking for something or someone. These silent moments create an entire language of their own, and men who truly pay attention can hear them loud and clear. Then there's body language, the way you cross your arms when you're feeling defensive or uncomfortable, the way you lean in when you're deeply engaged in a conversation, the way your fingers nervously tap against your glass when you're holding back something you want to say. These micro movements are subtle, but they reveal more about your emotions than words ever could. Men also notice the way you respond to them specifically, the way your smile lingers just a second longer when you're truly happy in their presence, the way your laughter is different when it's genuinely amused versus when it's just polite, the way your breathing slows down in a moment of comfort or quickens in a moment of excitement. They may not always put it into words, but they feel the shift in energy. And let's not forget the most powerful form of unspoken communication: touch. A casual brush of the arm, a light touch on the shoulder, the way you unconsciously lean towards someone you feel connected to. These gestures, no matter how small, hold meaning. A touch can say, "I trust you." A lingering hug can say, "I don't want to let go." Even distance, when you pull away ever so slightly, can say, "I need space." Men may not always analyze it out loud, but deep down they understand it. The beauty of unspoken expressions is that they are raw and real. They happen before the mind has a chance to filter or fabricate anything. They reveal emotions in their purest form, whether it's excitement, nervousness, attraction, hesitation, or joy. And that is exactly why men notice them. Because in a world full of words, sometimes the most powerful things are said without speaking at all. There's something deeply revealing about the way a person treats others, especially when they think no one is watching. It's easy to be kind when the spotlight is on you, when you're trying to impress, or when you're dealing with people who have something to offer in return. But real character, it shows in the smallest interactions, the ones that seem insignificant but leave the deepest impression. And trust me, men notice. It's in the way you treat the waiter at a restaurant, the cashier at the grocery store, or the janitor who walks by unnoticed. Do you smile at them? Do you say thank you? Do you acknowledge them as people, or do you just brush past them without a second thought? A woman's beauty may catch a man's attention, but her kindness, her warmth, and the way she treats others is what keeps it. Men pay attention to how you talk about people when they aren't around. Do you lift others up, or do you constantly gossip and tear them down? Do you celebrate the success of your friends, or does jealousy creep into your words? The way you speak about others reveals more about you than you realize. A woman who is genuinely supportive, who radiates kindness, who finds joy in seeing others succeed, that's someone unforgettable. And let's not forget how you treat the people closest to you. How do you talk to your family? Do you show patience, understanding, and love, or do you snap at them the moment things get difficult? How do you handle conflict? With grace and maturity, or with unnecessary drama? The way you navigate relationships, whether with friends, family, or even strangers, says so much about the kind of person you are. Men also notice how you treat them, not just in the big romantic moments, but in the small everyday ones. Do you listen when they talk, or are you always distracted? Do you show appreciation for the little things they do, or do you take them for granted? Do you speak to them with kindness, even in disagreement, or do you let frustration turn into unnecessary cruelty? Respect and kindness aren't just things that exist in grand gestures. They are built in the quiet, unspoken moments of everyday life. And here's something important. Kindness isn't about being a pushover. It doesn't mean letting people walk all over you or always putting others first at the expense of yourself. True kindness is strength. It's knowing your worth while still being compassionate. It's standing up for yourself and others without losing your grace. A woman who can be strong without being cruel, who can be confident without belittling others, who can be kind without expecting anything in return, that is the kind of woman people remember. At the end of the day, beauty fades, trends change, and superficial attraction only lasts so long. But the way you make people feel, that lingers. A woman who treats others with respect, dignity, and kindness leaves a lasting impact. Because in a world that can often be cold and self-centered, warmth stands out. And men don't just notice that, they cherish it. In a world where filters, expectations, and perfection are constantly paraded in front of us, authenticity has become one of the rarest and most captivating qualities anyone can possess, especially in a woman. While society often pressures women to fit into carefully curated molds, the truth is the most unforgettable women are the ones who dare to be unapologetically themselves. What many women don't realize is that men notice when you're simply being you, and they find it absolutely irresistible Authenticity is about showing up as your true self, without the fear of judgment or the need to impress. It's when your laughter isn't polished or forced. It's loud, unfiltered, and full of life. It's when you voice your opinions without trying to water them down just to please others. It's when you embrace your quirks instead of hiding them. Whether it's your obsession with a particular book series, your clumsy dance moves when your favorite song comes on, or the way your face lights up when you're talking about something you're passionate about, those are the moments that truly make you shine. Men notice when you're comfortable in your own skin. They see the difference between a woman who is trying to fit in and one who is fully unapologetically herself. Authenticity is magnetic because it creates a sense of ease, both for you and for those around you. When you're authentic, you give others permission to be themselves too. You create a space where vulnerability isn't a weakness, but a quiet kind of strength. There's something undeniably attractive about a woman who isn't afraid to let her imperfections show.